After the death of Khal Drogo and the birth of her 3 dragons, Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion, Daenerys Targaryen crosses the Red Waste and arrives in Qarth. The details of her experiences in Qarth are a separate story, but she eventually sets sail back to Pentos on 3 ships provided by Illyrio Mopatis. During their journey, Ser Jorah, feeling jealous of Arstan Whitebeard, later revealed as Ser Barristan Selmy, suggests to Daenerys a detour to Slaver's Bay to purchase slave soldiers known as the Unsullied. Upon reaching Astapor, Daenerys learns about the brutal training of the Unsullied and decides to acquire all 8,600 trained soldiers and an additional 5,000 boys in training. In exchange, she offers her 3 ships, gifts from Qarth, and the strongest of her 3 dragons. At the Plaza of Punishment, Daenerys receives command of the Unsullied after providing the agreed-upon payment. However, she betrays the terms by ordering the Unsullied to kill the Masters and anyone over the age of 12 wearing a tokar. With the help of her dragons, Astapor is sacked and all slaves are freed. Daenerys leaves a council of 3, a healer, a scholar, and a priest, to rule the remaining Astapori. Following her victory, Daenerys frees the Unsullied and gives them the choice to swear loyalty to her or leave her service. Most choose to follow her to Yunkai, where the Yunkai, aware of Astapor's fate, raise a slave army supported by 2 sellsword companies. Daenerys invites envoys from Yunkai and the sellsword companies to her camp. The Stormcrows refuse, and Mero, captain of the Second Sons, laughs but accepts wine. Daario Naharis from the Stormcrows arrives, offering their service, and the combined forces defeat Yunkai. Yunkai surrenders, freeing all slaves, and Daenerys allows them to retain control of the city. Daenerys marches towards Meereen, where the people retreat behind the city walls. Meereen's lands are ravaged, and slave children are gruesomely displayed on mileposts. Daenerys' host grows to over 80,000, though only a fraction are warriors. After overcoming obstacles, including the slaying of Meereen's champion Osnak Zopal by Belwas, Daenerys orchestrates a successful rebellion within the city, solidifying her position as queen. Meanwhile, in Astapor, a power struggle ensues as a former butcher named Cleon seizes control, training new Unsullied and causing chaos. Upon learning of Astapor's plight, Daenerys opts to remain in Meereen, where she declares herself queen and faces external threats from slavers across the known world. Simultaneously, she contends with internal challenges posed by the insurgent group known as the Sons of the Harpy. After Daenerys left Yunkai, the city reverted to slavery. To prepare for the impending conflict, Yunkai hired new sellsword companies such as the Long Lances, the Windblown, and the Company of the Cat. Envoys were sent to various cities, including Qarth, spreading false tales about Daenerys to gain support for her downfall. Yunkish envoy went to Volantis to persuade the Triarchs to send their fleet against Daenerys, while other envoys allied Yunkai with Nugis, Tolos, Illyria, and the Dothraki. Simultaneously, factions sailed towards Daenerys. Prince Quentyn Martell, sent by his father with a marriage pact, faced challenges on his journey. Unable to find a ship to Slaver's Bay in Volantis due to the war, he and his companions joined the Windblown, a sellsword company hired by Yunkai. Daenerys faced difficulties with her dragons becoming wilder and hunting livestock. After a shepherd claimed his daughter was killed by a dragon, Daenerys ordered the capture of Viserion and Rhaegal, while Drogon escaped towards the Dothraki Sea. Another setback is the defeat of Cleon, king of Astapor, against Yunkai. Despite starvation, Cleon's march to Yunkai ends in defeat, leading to chaos in Astapor. Yunkai then sets its sights on Meereen, laying siege with a formidable force. Disease spreads among surviving Astapori, and Daenerys refuses them entry into the city. The Sons of the Harpy, a resistance group in Meereen, waged a shadow war against Daenerys marked by a harpy drawn in blood. To address the Sons of the Harpy threat, Daenerys agrees to a pact with Hisdar zo Lorak. If he can stop the Sons for 90 days, they will marry. The peace agreement allows Yunkai to resume slavery, leading to tensions. After the wedding, the fighting pits reopen, and during the event, Belwas falls ill from poisoned locusts. As chaos ensues, Drogon returns and Daenerys, rushing to him, flies away from Meereen on his back. Following Daenerys' departure on Drogon, Hisdar assumes control of Meereen. He dismisses many of Daenerys' supporters, provoking Grey Worm and leading to the loss of the Unsullied. Skahaz Mo Kandak, stripped of his command by Hisdar, contacts Barristan Selmy and reveals that Hisdar's confectioner has confessed to poisoning the locusts on behalf of the Sons of the Harpy, resulting in the death of the confectioner's daughter when Daenerys survived. Skahaz seeks Barristan's help to rally the Unsullied against Hisdar. Amidst the chaos, chaos. Yunkai accuses Meereen of breaching the peace and presents Hizdahr with the severed head of a hostage, but in a gesture of goodwill, they return 3 hostages related to Hizdahr, promising to release the others once Hizdahr deals with the dragons. Barristan and Skahaz plan to imprison Hizdahr and rule Meereen through a council. Meanwhile, Prince Quentyn Martell enlists the tattered prince's aid to capture Daenerys' dragons. However, their plan coincides with Barristan and Skahaz's plot. Quentyn and the Windblown attempt to lure a dragon, resulting in a deadly confrontation. Simultaneously, Barristan confronts Hizdahr about the poisoning attempt on Daenerys. As Hizdahr is arrested, the Yunkai resume their siege of Meereen, and the Sons of the Harpy resume their attacks. Barristan sends Galatza Galare to negotiate with the Yunkai, but it becomes evident that a peaceful resolution is unlikely. Recognizing an impending battle, Barristan seeks the support of the imprisoned companions of Quentyn. He sends them to negotiate with the tattered prince, offering Pentos in exchange for the loyalty of the Windblown. Upon Galatza's return, she informs Barristan that the Yunkai demand the death of the dragons for peace. Concurrently, the Yunkai launch trebuchets, flinging corpses into Meereen. In the midst of this turmoil, Victarion Greyjoy, at the command of his brother Euron, arrives in Meereen with the intention of bringing Daenerys to Euron. However, Victarion secretly plans to marry Daenerys and bind her dragons using the Dragonbinder horn. Amidst the chaos in Meereen, Drogon brings Daenerys to the Dothraki Sea, where she begins her journey back on foot. Despite struggles with Drogon's disobedience, Daenerys eventually encounters a Dothraki scout. After a tense encounter, she is found by the Khalasar of Khal Jakko, standing beside Drogon. In conclusion, Daenerys Targaryen's campaign in Slaver's Bay was a transformative chapter in her journey. From conquering Astapor and Yunkai to ruling Meereen with both strength and compassion, Daenerys left an indelible mark on Essos. Little did she know that her actions in Slaver's Bay would shape her destiny and set the stage for her eventual quest for the Iron Throne in Westeros.